Hi, Keith here from North 40 Fly Shop. Some years ago, Luke McKee, who works part-time here in the shop, and we get to go fishing when our schedules allow it, showed me a leech pattern he came up with that he'd been doing really good on, and he gave it to me and said tie a few of these up and give them a shot, and they worked really good. Like any fly pattern that I get my hands on, I kind of look at it and say, well gee, I can tweak this and I can tweak that and make a little change here. And that's what I did with this, and the results were surprisingly well. So that's what we're going to do today, and in just a second here we'll get it all started. Alright, here's a better look at what we're going to be doing, so let's get started. Oops, get that out of the way. So the hook is going to be a Tiemco streamer hook, and it is the 93-95. This is a size 10, and you can tie them all the way up to a size 8, which I've done. And for the thread, we're just going to use some 70 denier ultra thread in black, just to get us started here. And, oops, there's my scissors. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get that wrapped all the way to the back. And we're right about the bend, run it right back up. You want to leave yourself enough space for your head. So this is going to be a two-part marabou. So the bottom marabou is going to be the olive, and need about, we kind of want to keep this a little bit on the sparse side, and the tail length should be just about a hook shank length. And so, oops, gotta move that back a little bit here. Before we get too far, I want to trim this off about a little over an eye length back. There we go. Get that wet so it goes on a little better. The important part is to keep your body uniformed in thickness. Get that out of my way. And then so the next one's going to be black marabou. And let's see, we want the right length, and again we don't want a lot, and that's going to be on the top of the fly, so we want that about the same length. Alright, any stragglers we can trim off there. There we go. So the next thing we're going to add is some ice blue pearl Flashabou. We're just going to need one strand on each side. And we're just going to tie that in about the length of the marabou. And we want to put that on each side of it, so we'll start with this side. And carry that back over to this side. Alright. One thing about this fly, it is unweighted, and I'm starting to like a little bit more of especially leech patterns that are unweighted, and you depend more on your line, your sinking line or sink tip. So we got that in. Next we're going to tie in our wire, and it's UTC. You can either use small or extra small in the silver, or whatever color you think looks good on the pattern. The important thing is just to kind of keep your overall body as even as possible and as low profile as possible. So get that out of my way. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in a dubbing loop, and maybe 3 to 4 inches is all you need. We're not even going to use all of that because this is going to be kind of a sparse amount of dubbing in here. Okay, get that out of the way. And the next is going to be the Mirage Tinsel from UTC. It's in the medium size opal. Get that. You can also use pearl Flashabou or anything of the similar nature if you want. Alright, get that cut off. Looks like I'm all thumbs this morning. And get that tied all the way to the front. There we go. Alright, the next step, what I usually do before I wrap the Mirage Tinsel on there, come on, open up, there we go, is I put just a little bit of super glue on the body to kind of hold it in place while I wrap it. So, I'll get that out of there. And just do it either slightly touching, or you don't need to overlap it. It's just an underbody. You just want enough so that it'll shine through. I started really liking putting onto these underbodies that have got flash on these leech patterns. Alright, now for our dubbing. So the dubbing is a mix of semi-seal Canadian brown, semi-seal deep leech, and the Spirit River UV2, it's the UV2 Seal X Black. And basically when I mix these together, I use a coffee grinder, and it's 1 part or I should say 2 parts deep leech, which is a real dark olive, and then 1 part of the black Seal X, and 1 part of the semi-seal Canadian brown. Now, if you don't have those, if you can get the deep leech and Canadian black semi-seal, you can mix those two together and pretty much do a little over a half of the deep leech and the remainder of the Canadian black. So we'll put that in here now. I've already made up a bag of it. And one thing I like to do is kind of put it together and then kind of pull it apart and kind of line up the ends a little bit. There we go. Get this in here like that. Alright. So we're going to load up our loop, get everything straightened out here. And then kind of spread it out. So, give her a spin up. Oh, that isn't good. And sometimes I forgot I've got 70 denier. You can't spin it too much, but that's all right. We can fix this. That's what the hackle pliers work for. There we go. See, just like that. And you want to brush this out real good. You just want to be careful when brushing it, because you can break the thread up by the body. Let's see. Get that stuff out of the way. There we go. Okay. I'm going to take one full wrap around here. And then we're just going to kind of pull everything back and just start wrapping it forward, leaving spaces in between the wraps so that the crystal flash shows through, or I mean the tinsel throat shows through. like that. And we get up by the head. Get one more full wrap. Tie that off. Make sure you get that tied in real good. And usually you do this at the end, but because I'm going to be ribbing it with wire, I want to kind of open that up a little bit more. So we're going to brush this a little bit more. And I may have went just a little bit too much on the dubbing. So we'll brush some of that out a little bit. There we go. Kind of get it stand up just like you would a hackle. And then we're just going to counter rib it. Kind of lock everything down. It'll just kind of prevent that from getting broke on the teeth. Part that out a little bit. Don't worry about if you trap a few fibers down. We can pick those back out. All right. And we just twist off our wire, clean up the head a little bit, and finish that off. Then what I do is I add a little fluorescent fire orange for a hot spot on the head. I've found that sometimes just a little bit of something, whether it be the fluorescent orange, pink, chartreuse, just seems to add a little bit to it. At least that's just my opinion and my experience. Alright, we're going to come back through now and brush this out a little bit more. And there's some stuff in there that got trapped down, so we'll just pick it out. There we go. Trimmed off a couple of stragglers there. Get that brush back. As you notice, it's kind of a little sparser now, and just the way I want it. Then you can either use UV resin, the Flow, Loon Flow, or your own type of head cement if you want. I'm using the penetrator from Hard as Hose. Alright, that's all we need. So we've used this in a lot of the local lakes and done really good with it. So go ahead and give it a try, and I think you won't be disappointed. So until next time, have a good day.